Guys, welcome back to my channel where I'll be discussing the NWSL regular season match between the Orlando Pride and Racing Louisville. You can also listen to this match review on Spotify, link in the description below. Likewise, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you can also watch this game review on YouTube. Link will be in the description. So the Pride are coming off of a 1-1 draw to the Utah Royals. Probably not the best of ways to get back into the season. But hey, at least it wasn't a loss. Unfortunately for the Pride, they went into the summer break with a loss against Racing Louisville. This time around, I think the result can be different. The Pride didn't do too bad in their last game against the Royals. There were many times where they came close to grabbing their second goal. They just needed to put away their chances. That's kind of what it came down to. The attack was fine, the intensity and urgency were good, there was great support in the attack and in the box, but finishing could be better. On top of that, Simone Charlie and Luana are officially off the season-ending injury list, and they were both available for the match against the Royals. Charlie got playtime, and if both her and Luana are available for this game, we could see them again. And of course, Angelina and Martha will be returning from Brazil after winning the Copa America final against Colombia. That was indeed a game. But against Racing Louisville, we could see Angelina and Martha start, but I'm not really sure. Or we could also see Luana start. That would be something, but I can imagine Seb may not want to push Luana too hard just yet. And I think Angelina and Martha, I'm not sure if they will be able to start. They kind of just came back a few days ago. But yeah, going back to what I said earlier, the Pride lost to Racing Louisville before the break, but given how well the Pride's attack played in the last game, I think they can grab a win here as long as they can finish their chances. Anyway, that all being said, let's get into the lineup for this match. Alright, so the lineup. We have Anna Morehouse in the goal. For defenders, Corey Dyke, Kylie Nadiner, Emily Sams, and Carson Pickett. In the midfield and attack, Morgan Gautreau, Haley McCutcheon, Ali Lemos, Priska Chalufia, Barbara Banda, and Julie Doyle. Alright, so this is a pretty good lineup. I do like Chalufia up top with Banda, but instead of Doyle up top, I think I would have switched her out with Yates, maybe even Watts. Both of them connect pretty well with Banda. However, I think the idea here is to likely get Chalufia more involved in the Pride attack, especially if there are a lot of players trying to mark and shut down Banda. Martha and Angelina are available off the bench. We could see them in the second half. The same could also go for Yates, Simone Charlie, Ohene, and Simone Jackson. Charlie would be great to see in the second half. Jackson is definitely a player to keep an eye on. As for Ohene, I think I would have started her here too. But yeah, besides that, the Pride are fine and they should do well in this game. That being said, let's get into the first half. Alright, so the first half, we are off. The Pride are in a 4-4-2, Racing are in a 4-3-3. So the 10-minute mark, yeah, things are okay-ish for the Pride. McCutcheon had a chance to score in the first, but her attempt would go too high. The Pride are getting into the racing box, but it's kind of what we were seeing in the match against the Royals. Not knowing what they want to do once they get in there, and just being a bit too hesitant. The Pride has to watch out for Racing Louisville's counterattack. They did have a chance to score in the first 10 minutes, but that was about it. For the most part, the Pride has been able to maintain control and possession just fine. So the 20-minute mark, the Pride are still on the attack. Banda and Chalufia have been getting down there. In the 15th minute, a long ball was played up to Chalufia. Chalufia crossed it into the box. Doyle ended up skying it. It was honestly a great cross by Chalufia. She beat her defender. Her pace was good. But Doyle needed to do better there. That setup was perfect for Doyle to get on that. Lemos and Banda also had an attempt on goal in the 11th and 12th minute, but nothing would come from them. So the 30-minute mark, early on into these 10 minutes, the Pride had a bit of defending to do. They had to pick up some of that defending slack. Racing had a free kick in the 25th, but the header would go wide. There was a nice counter press from Banda in the 26th. She crossed it to Chilufya, but she couldn't connect with it. Banda would also cross it to Doyle in the 29th, but it would be cleared. So yeah, they're not really connecting in the box yet. Banda has the right ideas. The attack has the right idea, but they just need to figure out how to connect and score. All right, so the 45-minute mark. Yeah, kind of like the last 10 minutes, we're seeing more pressure from Racing Louisville and the Pride having to defend. They're doing okay in that area, but Racing Louisville, I think it was DeMello. DeMello needs to know that crashing into a stationary Emily Sams is not a foul. That was kind of funny because Racing thought they had a foul outside the Pride box because Sams, quote, fouled. It just looked like DeMello slammed right into Emily Sams. In the 43rd minute, Banda made a run into the box. She went down. From the replay, she appeared to have been pulled down by Jean. The Pride were awarded a penalty kick, and Doyle would step up to take it, but she would see her attempt saved by Bloomer. And it was at that moment I was like, are you for real? There would be an additional 5 minutes of added time. Despite having corner kicks, the Pride failed to convert any goals. Racing Louisville would score in the 49th minute, making it 0-1 for Racing Louisville. The half would end in the 50th minute, with Racing Louisville up 0-1. All right, so the Pride are down 0-1. Honestly, this was a really pitiful first half. The Pride had chances, the clearest one being that penalty kick that Doyle failed to convert. They had other chances as well, like Doyle's attempt in the 15th, but once again, the Pride just couldn't connect in the box and they couldn't put away their chances. The attack has been able to get down there. We're seeing Banda and Chilufya doing well with their runs and creating some chances and services even. But the Pride needs to figure out how to connect in the box and score goals. The Pride could come back in the second half, but they need to sort out their attack and, of course, finish their chances. That's kind of the big thing here. I would bring on Martha, Yates, Charlie, Jackson, and maybe Angelina, but I might hold off on her for a bit. I also want to add, on the upside, the Pride's defending isn't too bad either. They just had to watch out for transitions and counters. I'm not too concerned unless they slip up and do something weird. Anyway, let's get into the second half. All right, so the second half, we are off. The 55-minute mark, not a single change at halftime. I would have thought Doyle was going to be the one to get switched out for Yates or Martha or Charlie, maybe even Angelina. But no, not yet. I guess Seb Hines doesn't want to make changes yet. In these first 10 minutes, we saw some good saves from Morehouse, especially in the 49th minute. Racing were awarded a free kick, the ball was sent in, and the header came from out wide. I was actually surprised Morehouse was able to get her hands on it because it definitely seemed like it was going in. Banda had an attempt in the 53rd minute, but she would see it saved. The 65-minute mark, Watt, Jackson, and Raffaelli would come on for Doyle, Chilufya, and Dyke in the 60th minute. The Pride has had some spells of possession, but they haven't been able to do much with it. Maybe the subs will change that, especially when it comes to Watt and Jackson. Defensively, the Pride needs to be more careful. In the 58th minute, a Racing Louisville player made a run and a cross. Sams was arriving really late, and Howell would end up collecting the ball and making an attempt, but she would see it go wide. That was pretty dangerous. And then in the 64th minute, Sams was in a foot race with someone, and Morehouse had to come out and clear. In the 80th minute mark, it's a little better from the Pride. Charlie and Angelina would come on for Gautreau and Lemos in the 70th minute. Watson's coming in has been good with the ball at her feet. She was able to get past some Racing Louisville defenders and create some crosses and services. There was a really good one in the 66th minute, but there was no one there to finish it. Charlie also had an attempt too, but it would go wide. Overall, I would say the attacking build-up is fine, but the Pride can't put away their chances for whatever reason. That's kind of the problem here. So the 90th minute mark, In the 81st minute, the Pride were awarded a free kick after a foul on Charlie outside the box. VAR officials would tell the ref to go to the screen. The ref saw that the foul happened inside the box and not outside like she originally thought. The Pride were awarded a penalty kick. Angelina stepped up to take it, but she would see it saved by Bloomer. Yeah, that happened. In the 88th minute, Banda would play across to Jackson. Jackson's attempt would go wide. I will cut Angelina and just Angelina some slack because she just came back a few days ago. But besides her, the chances the Pride have had to score in this game are insane. But again, they can't finish to save their lives. Like, honestly, shooting practice. Shooting practice for everyone on the Pride. There would be an additional 9 minutes of added time. In the 92nd, the Pride were awarded a free kick. Angelina would touch the ball, but ultimately leave it to Pickett to serve it. Pickett would send it in. Ari Borges would head it into the goal, making it an own goal, and putting the Pride at 1-1 with Racing Louisville. Racing would up their attack, force some saves from Morehouse, force some defending from the Pride back line. In the 99th minute, Angelina would make a run. I thought she was going to go for it herself, but instead she played it wide to Banda. Banda's attempt would go over. Honestly, Angelina should have just gone for that herself. Bloomer was too far to one side, and Angelina would have been able to score. I feel like Angelina was more open there or had the best chance. Whereas when she played it wide to Banda, Bloomer was already getting set up to make that jump or make that save. So yeah, I feel like Angelina should have been just a tad more selfish. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So the second half would end in the 99th minute with the Pride drawing 1-1 with Racing Louisville. So yeah, Pride draws 1-1 with Racing Louisville. My God, I'm sticking to what I said earlier. The Pride had plenty of chances to score in this game. Failing to convert 2 penalties is insane. Fine, Doyle got her save, but Angelina of all people. But still, I'm going to cut Angelina some slack. She just came back not too long ago. But yeah, besides the penalties, the Pride had other chances as well from open play. The build-up from the attack was good. We saw some good crosses and services from players like Watt, Angelina, Chalufia, and even Banda in the first half. But for whatever reason, it was like the match against the Royals. The Pride couldn't connect or finish in the box. If it wasn't for Ari's lucky or unlucky own goal, depending on which side you're on, this would have been a loss for the Pride. It goes back to what I said earlier. Shooting practice. Shooting practice for everyone on this team. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today or tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.